Yo, you ever heard a story so wild, you hope it's not true? Well, Detroit got one right now.
Breaking news out of Sterling Heights, where police say a husband shot his wife in her work parking lot. That shooting happened at the Pomeroy Living Center on 15 Mile near DeQuinder. Gina Vici has an update on the victim's condition and the investigation.
Yeah, this is still a very active scene behind me. Take a look at this. Look at the bullet casing markings on the ground here. Sterling Heights police saying around 8 o'clock this morning they received a 911 call that a woman had been shot in the parking lot here at the Pomeroy Living Center off of 15 Mile near DeQuinder. We're told an employee was shot by her husband in the parking lot. We're told they both lived in the city of Warren and that the husband came up to his wife's employer and shot her several times. Police thankfully were able to respond to the scene within seconds. The wife was rushed to a nearby hospital where she is still alive. Police encountered the husband who was armed with a revolver and were able to take him into custody. Here is Captain Mario Bastianelli talking about the moment officers encountered the gunman.
Like I said, our officers were here, very quickly. So, which makes all the difference in the world of somebody with a gun and they're actively shooting at people. So this happened to be a targeted incident because it was a domestic situation. But you never know how these things are going to transpire, right? How they're going to work out. Officers show up, you have a guy with a gun, Does he go peacefully or does this end up, turning into a shootout with our officers? It's a, very stressful situation on everybody, including our officers arriving. All in all, a good ending to a bad situation.
Again, we're told the female victim is expected to survive despite being shot several times in the body. And again, her husband has been taken into custody. No word yet on when he could be charged. In Sterling.
All right, now that's the official report. But y'all know the news don't always tell you everything. The streets in Detroit, they talking heavy. And what they saying about why this man pulled that trigger will make you see this whole case different. Like I said, I ain't condoning this. You know what I'm saying? I would never want any man to go do what this man did. But on the other hand, the word on the street is that they have 3 kids together, been married 9 years, and this man found out that all 3, not one, but all 3 of the kids are not his. I don't know how the hell you do that, but however this happened, he found out and allegedly, and this is why he went and did what he did. Man, I'm going to say, if I go forward, this is why we need mandatory DNA testing at birth, because they saying it's up like 30% of births are the man that's there is not the father, or the man that signed the birth certificate is not the actual father. This is crazy. 9 years. Like I said, I'm not condoning it, but I understand. I'm almost like, free this dude. Yeah, hey, y'all go look at me crazy, but that you took away a decade of this man's life that he could have went and got a woman who was worth something, who would have respected him more than that. It seemed like he's a hardworking dude. He put in, and he was just trying to be a father. That's what happened when you good. You trying to be a father, and then you find out that she been doing this to you. You feel betrayed like that. Yeah, I can see why he went crazy. But at the same time, as men, we got to pick better, man. A lot of these birds out here ain't worth it. And you know what I'm saying? You just can't put your time into that. So, he got to take some of that too, is the fact that he chose wrong. But yeah, man, I don't know. This might be one GoFundMe that I might participate in. Because I know it's considered a crime of passion, if that's why it happened. But I don't know. I don't think I would do that, but you'll never know until you put into that situation. But ladies, y'all got to start doing better. Y'all hold the key to birth. Y'all hold the gateway to sex, and y'all just letting any dudes in and just expecting that we supposed to sit back and take it. And that's what y'all been taught. Is like, dudes now these days are a bunch of bitches. We gonna take everything. Y'all can go out and do all this dumb shit. And then, like I said, expect that there's no consequence behind that. And we starting to find out that that's not true. And yeah, on top of that, I wanted to say too, I guess the fathers of the kids supposedly are relatives. So she been messing around with the dude's relatives. That's crazy. This whole situation is crazy. And that's probably why the news probably know this. But they don't want to push that narrative. I'm noticing that like the mainstream legacy media does not want to push women being in the wrong, women being in the bad light. So it's like they covered this whole thing without saying the other possibilities behind it. And if this is true, man, this just shows even more that legacy media is bullshit. All right, man. Hey, pick better. Y'all gotta pick better women out here. That's the moral of this story. I'm gonna give him some responsibility here because I don't know if we could do anything about these birds. They out of control. They out here being 304s and everything else. Cat's out the bag. I don't know if you can get it back in. So the best thing we could do as men is have these conversations, let other men know, the youngins, let them know how to pick, and just start leaving these birds on their own island by themselves. Like, they gonna have to figure it out. But if we stop getting with these birds and let them kind of like just do their thing, the next generations, we can have better women. And that's what we need to be doing as men, is basically pushing away the bad women and giving the good women, you know, giving them everything, the provision of protection, so that we get that going forward. It's all up to the men. All right, y'all. It's Locker Room Therapy. Y'all had y'all therapy for the day. If you still here, man, at least like the video to push it in the algorithm. I looked at my analytics, and I think around 60 or 70% of y'all are not subscribed that's watching my channel. So go ahead and, you know, subscribe so y'all can get more of this crazy shit over here. All right, we out.